All right. So we're going to start with some deep breathing. First, standing in the Wuji position, feet shoulder hip distance apart. Nice gentle bend in the knees. There you go. Tucking in the tailbone, head is lifted by the silk thread. So good straight body posture in this direction. Also good straight body posture in this direction. Okay. If you feel your weight going back on your heels, that's a really good time to kind of bend the knees and sink down a little bit, okay? Sometimes you can recover your posture so you feel yourself kind of tilting back, bend those knees, and even when you're tilting forward, you can kind of bend those knees and sink down, all right? All right, let's do some deep breathing, okay? Inhale the hands up, and exhale, relax the hands down. Keep looking straight in front of you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Pause for just 1 second. Just want to make sure those are to either side of you if you need them. All right, beautiful. All right, continuing on with our breathing. We're going to inhale, hands to the heart, and exhale. Inhale, nice and slow. Exhale the hands down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Hands out in front of us. Inhale and exhale. Arms over the head next. Inhale to the heart and exhale. As you're lifting up on the hands, push down on the feet. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Again, big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Arms to the side. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale and exhale the hands down. So pause for just a moment. So if you want, so you don't have to do this, but if you want to do this, when the hands are out to the side, go ahead and extend your hands out to the side, palms facing down. Feel how that feels on your arm. And now rotate your fingers up towards heaven, kind of pushing out on the palms, and you feel that stretch in your arm, all right? So when our arms are out here, we can do this and be fine. We can do this and be even better, all right? Gives us a nice little stretch when we do that, all right? So whichever one you want to do, all right? So inhale to the heart and exhale, fingertips up, stretch those arms. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale the hands down. Giving a big hug. Inhale the arms up. Keep inhaling the arms open. Exhale, pushing the hands together. Keep exhaling as you float the hands down. Keep standing up nice and straight and tall. Inhale the arms up. Keep inhaling the arms open. Exhale, pushing the hands together. Keep exhaling, floating the hands down. One more time. We're going to inhale, long, slow, deep belly breath in. And then long, slow, deep belly breath out. Arms in the diagonals. Inhale to the heart. Left hand up, right hand down. Keep that upper body nice and straight. Inhale to the heart. Right hand up, left hand down, exhaling. Keep that upper body straight. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you're not leaning. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to the heart. One more time each side. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Beautiful. We're going to do two more breathing exercises. Um, Try and go really slow. That's one of the very unique things about Tai Chi. Life out there can go too fast sometimes. Um, but in here, we go nice and slow and nice and relaxed. It will also help you with your Parkinson's symptoms when we go slow. And I often, when I'm talking to my Parkinson's friends, will tell you when you get in a situation where you're like, this doesn't feel right, don't speed up, slow down. Train yourself to slow down when you get in those situations, right? Because when you speed up, that's what really gets you in trouble a lot of times. Okay, I know a gentleman. He drove a Cadillac, drove a bigger car, and he was parked in tight. And he was backing out. He's like, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. Well, he ended up paying for damage on three cars because he just went ahead to go for it, right? Um, if we would have slowed down and kind of assessed the situation, probably wouldn't have damaged any of the cars. All right. So slowing down is a good thing. Okay. Somebody's cell phone's going off. I'm not here. All right. So we're going to do two more breathing exercise, flapping our arms like bird wings. Inhale the hands up over the head if you're able to, and exhale, floating the hands down. Slower is better. Nice. Again, we inhale nice and slow, and exhale, floating the hands down. Do whatever's necessary. One more time. Big, deep belly breath in, and exhale, floating the hands down. And lastly, my favorite, gathering chi. Big, deep belly breath in, and then bring the hands right down the center line, exhaling. Standing up nice and straight and tall. Inhale, nice and slow. Exhale, floating the hands down, slower, better. Nice, I love it. Inhale, nice and slow, slower, better. And exhale. And there you go. That's our deep breathing exercises. I believe you have a slight injury on your left arm, backside, other left. Oh, sorry, right arm. Sorry, underside of your right arm. Sure. I think we have wipes out there. Talk to the lady at the desk. Awesome. All right. So, really quick, because you guys will get these jokes. You may not laugh, but you'll get them, right? Um, yes, exactly. Well, so I teach young adults with special needs, and I told them these two jokes yesterday. Nothing, nothing. Crickets. That's all I heard. So the one is, when I die, I want to be buried with all my records. It'll be my vinyl resting place. See, they didn't get, literally, they did not get that one. Pardon me? Yes. So the other one, I went to Target and the cashier asked me, do you want cash back? And I said, who wouldn't? I mean, there's Ring of Fire. I walked the line, and there's even his gospel album. And see, again, I got crickets, but you guys got that one. So, yeah, exactly. They don't know the classics, right? Okay, so warm up exercises next. We're starting with the chin tuck. All right. So in that Wuji position, nice gentle bend in the knees, tucking in the tailbone, heads lifted by the silk thread. We float the hands up, shoulder height. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up. And then we sink the chin down to the chest without leaning forward. Use your chair if you need to. Again, we float the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up. And then we sink the chin to the chest without leaning forward. One more time, we're floating the hands up in front of us, shoulder height. Keep the chin level as you tuck in the chin. Feel the stretch on the back of the neck. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin down to the chest. Beautiful. Next neck exercise, we're going to look side to side. So, starting out in the prayer hand position, Tai Chi ball, right hand is on top. Turning the neck, watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center, back to prayer hand. Tai Chi ball, now the left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center, back to prayer hands. Relax the hands down for just a second. So in this exercise, we're trying to isolate the neck muscles, all right? So as you turn from side to side, try to not turn the shoulders. So I'm not doing this as I turn, but I'm doing this. So I keep my shoulders square to the front, and I'm just using my neck to turn side to side. When I turn my shoulders, I start shifting all my body weight, all right? When I'm turning the neck, I'm only turning the weight of the head. Okay? So, prayer hand position, Tai Chi ball, right hand is on top. Watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right, and coming back to center. Now the left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center. One more time. Standing up nice and straight and tall. Right hand's on top. Left hand, left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center. Now the left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center, back to prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Beautiful. Forward shoulder circles next. Bringing the shoulders back, then up, then forward without leaning forward, and down. Shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Shoulders back, then up, then forward, and down. Now, keep looking straight ahead when you're doing this. This will help you with your posture, therefore helping you with your balance. All right? So we're going to go the other direction. Shoulders forward, and then up, then back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. One more time. Forward, up, back, and down. Awesome. Next, we're going to gather chi just like we did when we were breathing. Now we're going to focus on the shoulder. So you're going to do something what the Chinese call reaching for infinity. Imagine that someone is very gently pulling on your wrist. So my hands aren't just to the side, but I'm kind of gently reaching out. And I start to feel a stretch in my shoulder and my elbow, even my chest and my back as I get more experienced at it. All right? It's called reaching for infinity. So gently, we're reaching out, reaching up, nice and slow. Do what your body's able to do. Don't force anything. And relax the hands down, nice and slow. Once again, we're gently reaching out, reaching up, nice and slow. Slower, better. And relax the hands down. Beautiful. One more time, gently reaching out, reaching up. It's okay to smile. Keep looking straight ahead and relax the hands down. Awesome. Good job. Touching heaven and earth. Now we're going to open up the body vertically. So imagine you have a silk thread attached to the crown of your head, and someone is very gently pulling up on that silk thread. Okay? So we start out in the prayer hand position. Left hand up, right hand down, stretching the spine. And coming back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And we come back to center. Make sure you're keeping your body nice and straight. Make sure you're not leaning as you bring that hand up, all right? Left hand up, right hand down, gently stretching the spine. And coming back to center. Right up, left down, gently stretching the spine, floating the head to the ceiling. And back to center. One more time. Left up, right down, stretching the spine. Coming back to center. And right hand up, left hand down. Keep that gentle bend in the knees, stretching the spine. And then coming back to center, coming back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Very nice. Carrying the ball side to side. So in this case, I'm not moving my hips. I'm turning my belly button from the left to the right without moving the hips. All right? So this is a very small turn. I'm not trying to make a big turn because that has to engage your hips. So it's a nice small turn side to side. Okay? Does everybody know where their belly button is? All right. So from prayer hand position, Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top. So imagine you're holding onto a ball. Now you want to keep this ball and your navel connected to one another. All right. So I'm not bringing my hands over here, but I'm connecting the navel and the hands together as I gently turn to the left. I stay on the left side, turning the ball over, right hands on top, gently turning to the right, turning the navel to the right without turning the hips. Turning the ball over, left hands on top, gently turn to the left. Keep that body nice and straight. Keep the hands aligned with the belly button. Turning the ball over, right hands on top, and gently turn to the right. We're turning the ball over, left hands on top, grinning from ear to ear, gently turning to the left. We'll keep working on that one. And then we turn the ball over, right hands on top, and then gently turn to the right. And then we turn the ball over, we come back to center and relax the hands down. Awesome. Shake those legs loose. So let's do one more exercise standing, and then we'll take a seat. Okay? Trying to hydrate more. It's working. All right. So if you're able to stand, that's awesome. Okay. So keep a bend in your knee. Keep the body nice and straight. So we're going to shift all the way to one side. Make sure you're not leaning out. Make sure you're not pronating the hip out. You have a chair. Use that chair. Okay. All right. You may want to pull those two chairs forward a little. The chairs on the side, if you pull them forward a little bit. Here. Yeah. Sure. No problem. All right. Everybody stay safe. This is a really, really good balance exercise. All right. So from the Wu-Ji position, using your chair if you need to, shift all of your weight to the left leg, bend in the left knee, and bring the right foot in. This is known as the cat stance. Use your chair. Stay safe. Tap the right toe to the front, empty. And back to the cat stance. All the weight's on the left. Tap the right toe to the side. Don't put any weight on it. Keep all your weight on the left. And cat stance. And then tap the right toe behind us. Keep plenty of space between your feet when you do this. Make sure you're stepping wide. And cat stance. And back to Wu Ji. Pause for just 1 second. So when we're stepping back, Make sure you're doing, I call it stepping wide. You know what I'm talking about. So as we're stepping back, don't step back what I call narrow. You're stepping back. Um, Bless you. Imagine your feet are on railroad tracks. So as you're stepping back, you're stepping outside that railroad track. Pardon me. So you have a nice wide stance. Exactly. And your body will tell you exactly what you're doing. Because if you step narrow, your body will be fighting your balance. If you step wide, feels a lot more calm. Okay? So same thing, other side, weight shifts to the left. Bend in the left knee. Right foot, cat stance. Left foot to the front, empty. And cat stance. Keep all your weight on the right. Left foot to the side, empty. Keeping all the weight right. Body's nice and straight. And cat stance. And then the left foot behind us. It is. I'm mirroring you. And cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Awesome. Shake those legs loose. I try and mirror because it tends to, okay. It confuses some people, but it helps the majority of people. Okay. Any questions on that exercise? All right. So that is a really, really good balance exercise. And you can actually, I have a YouTube channel called Tai Chi with Craig Miller. You can check that out. I have just that exercise. There's 2 chapters to the exercise. We're only going to do one today. But I have that exercise up on that website if you want to play with that at home. All right. It's on YouTube. You can just Google Tai Chi with Craig Miller. That YouTube channel will pop up and then just go to there. And it's a bounce exercise. Yes. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So let's have a seat. Let's do a few seated exercises. All right. Can I see everybody from here? I think so. Yeah. All right. So when we sit Tai Chi style, we sit up on the edge of the chair. Try to not use the back of the chair. Okay. My feet are flat on the floor. The knee is directly above the ankle. So I'm not sitting like this or like this. I'm sitting like this. All right. We're kind of rocked forward on the pelvic bone because we have a tendency to sit like this, which ends up hurting our back. So we sit forward on that pelvic bone, kind of rock forward, and the head is gently lifted by a silk thread so we have good straight body posture. Okay? Practice sitting like this, especially for my Parkinson's friends. Whatever posture they use seated tends to be the same posture they use when they are standing. So practice your posture when you're seated. Okay. You will find, and I found this with my mother, when she got tired, is when her posture started to waver, if you will. And especially like mom had a tendency to lean one side to the other. So when mom got tired, she would lean to one side. And we actually, so in fact, I'll tell you, some of you know this, a lot of you don't. Um, so if we were just in a family setting, I would say, hey, mom, you're kind of leaning, or my sister would remind mom to sit up nice and straight and tall. But if we were out with a group of people, I would never want to disrespect my mother in that way. But I used to take my ring, or my sister would do the same thing, and you tap the ring on like the table or the chair. And my mom would know if she heard us do that, that she was leaning to one side and she should straighten up. So that tends to be a really good signal. Okay. All right. Hip exercise, side to side. So we're going to turn to the right hand side of the chair. Face the right hand side of the chair. We're going to be working with the left leg. Keep the left knee above the ankle. Okay. So from prayer hand position, I'm sitting up nice and straight and tall. I'm gently pushing against the imaginary wall on the right, and I'm opening up the left leg. Knee stays above the ankle. And then we come back to center. Again, pushing against that right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that stretch in the hip. Concentrate on the leg and coming back to center. One more time, pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg, feeling that stretch in the hip. And we come back to center and relax the hands down. Now shift to the left hand side of the chair. Same thing, other side. Concentrate on the legs first. Don't worry about the hands. Worry about the legs first. Once you feel comfortable with the legs, then add the hands in, okay? Prayer hand position, pushing against that imaginary left wall, opening up the right leg. Keep the knee above the ankle and coming back to center. Pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Feel that stretch in the hip. And back to center. One more time, pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Feel the nice stretch. And then we come back to center. Relax the hands down, turn to center, and shake those legs loose. Good job. That's an important exercise. They have found recently, like a year being recently, they have found that people that have more flexibility in their hips tend to have better balance. And so you want to keep that flexibility in your hips, all right? So, second hip exercise, 2 motions with the leg. First motion, lifting the leg up, pulling the knee up to the chest, not using your hands, all right? Keep the back straight, keep the body straight. So as you're lifting the leg up, you're not leaning back, or you're not, oops, it'd be that way. You're not leaning to the side. Keep the body nice and straight and lift that knee as high as you're able to, letting your body do what it can do. So I'm not using my hands, all right? Second motion, pushing the foot down, like you're driving your foot down through the floor, kind of pushing your foot into the basement. Okay? You guys look so excited. So, sitting up nice and straight and tall, starting with the left leg, lifting the left leg up, hands behind us, keep the back and the body straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can, trying to drive that left foot through the floor, not using your hands, just letting your body do what it can do, and relax. And then lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us, back and body straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can, push, 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 and relax. Pardon me, one more time, lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us. We're going to hold that position for a half an hour and relax. Just kidding. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Beautiful. Same thing, other side. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight and tall. Lifting up the right leg, hands are behind us. Lift that knee as high as you're able to while keeping the back straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Pushing down, push, 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 and relax. Lifting the right leg up, hands are behind us. Keep the back straight and relax. And then hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. One more time, lifting the right leg up, hands behind us, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Good job. You having fun? All right. Pardon me? Oh, you like the joke? You like, see, I like this. He likes the dad jokes. And another one. Um, oh, if I miss a funeral, does that make me a morning person? right, so next exercise, heel kick. This is the one that you want to remember and try and practice at home. Um, my encouragement is to try this every day, but it's hard to jump into something right away, right? So try this. I'm hoping everybody will be here next Friday, or next Thursday, because I have a class here on Thursday. Same thing. Um, so between now and say next Friday, try and do this one time. Just try and do it one time. Sunday, Monday, somewhere like that. Try and do this heel kick just one time. And you're going to see your legs over time start to get stronger and stronger. And hopefully, what you will figure out is that if I'm doing it twice a week, I notice my legs getting stronger. Well, what happens if I did it 3 times a week, or 4 times a week, or even 7 times a week, right? It's hard to fit everything in. I know you guys have these busy retirement schedules and everything. So it's hard to fit everything in. But putting these exercises in is something to do. Like I said, perfectly it would be daily. But even if you do it one more time, that's twice as much, right? So if you just did it one more time between next time I saw you next Friday, that would be twice as much. Okay. All right. So, I mean, mark it on your calendar at home. I want to do it Sunday when you get home. All right. All right. So, heel kick, 4 motions with the leg. We're going to lift the leg up, kick the leg out, heel kick. So I'm pushing out on the heel, up on the toe, and then lifting the leg up. Don't forget this one, and then floating the foot to the ground. So while I'm doing that, I'm keeping my body straight, my back straight, and I'm punching out the opposite hand. And I'm smiling the whole time. Okay? All right. Hands loosely gripped at the belt line. Keep that back nice and straight. Lifting up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist, opposite hand. Picking up the right leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist, opposite hand. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. One more time. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. And then picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there for a moment, and then float the foot to the ground. Shake those legs loose. Good job. So, 2 points that can help you with that exercise. Number one, we don't want to just like kick the foot out and bring it back. All right. The real power of this exercise is that lifting of the knee, because you're really concentrating on your core muscles. All right. When you're lifting the knee, and, like doing this motion is really good for the core. All right. And these are very important muscles. This is what your body is built on, those core muscles. That's why they're called that. All right. And with Parkinson's disease, everybody wants to focus on extremities because that's where you see your Parkinson's. But you want to keep in mind those core muscles. You want to keep those strong. So make sure you're lifting that leg, then you kick out, and then you lift the leg and float the foot to the ground. All right? So that lifting of the knee. Second thing is make sure you're using the opposite hand. So if I'm kicking with my left, I'm punching with my right. That's helping work the brain when you do that. It also mimics a normal walking gait by using the opposite hand. Okay? So, with that in mind, we're going to do toe kicks. So, everything is the same as it was before. The only difference is now I'm pointing my toe forward instead of pointing my toe up. So, I'm doing a toe kick. All right? Back straight, body straight, big smile, hands loosely gripped at the belt line. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg and floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float that foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right, nice and slow. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out the left fist. Nice and slow. Picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. Pause for just a second. So someone asked Dr. Lam, I was in a weekend workshop with him, and someone asked him about going slow. And he said, think of it this way. You have some friends in from out of town and you want to take them out to dinner. Are you going to take them to McDonald's, or are you going to take them someplace that's nice and like, several servings and taking your time? You're going to take someone where it's going to take time, right? Same thing with Tai Chi. One of the beautiful things about Tai Chi is teaching our body to go slow. So slower is better. Slower is harder, but slower is better. Okay? So try this nice and slow. So hands loosely gripped at the belt line. We're going to pick up that left leg. Toe kick left, punching out right fist. Opposite hand. Picking up the left leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. One more time. Picking up the left leg, nice and slow. Toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg and floating the foot to the ground, nice and slow. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. Awesome. Shake those legs loose. So this also gives you advantage because you're learning martial arts. If you ever get attacked, you just have to tell your attacker, look, I only know Tai Chi slow, so you have to attack me slow. You can't attack me fast, all right? Um, yeah, yeah, you usually do, yeah. Actually, it's really amazing how fast, because I've been doing Tai Chi for a while now, it's amazing how fast you react. When you know something slow, you really know it. And so, I mean, I had like my nephew who's actually bigger than me who tried to like scare me one time, and I had no idea he was there. But he's trained in, he worked, or not worked, well, I guess he did. He was part of the National Guard for a while, so he's trained in hand-to-hand combat, and he tried to sneak up on his uncle one time. It didn't go well. So, and he was like in front of me, but he kind of like came out. He was coming out of a door as I was coming in. I had no idea he was there or he was even around. But he came out of the door and was like, roar, like roared at me with his arms in the air. And immediately I was carrying two bags. And immediately I went into a defensive posture where I was going to strike back. And he was like, whoa, whoa, Uncle Craig, it's me, it's me. And he's like, I'm never sneaking up on you again. But it's amazing how fast that happens when you practice something slow. You know every detail really, really well. So that's why we do, that's one of the reasons that we do Tai Chi slow. Okay. All right, let's move along. Let's do our ankle exercises. All right. So stand if you're able to. And you're fine doing these from the chair if you want to. Okay. So shifting weight to the right, holding onto that chair, looking straight ahead, keeping the body nice and straight. With our left foot, we're going to touch heel and then toe. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. Now shift weight left, bend in the left knee. Try to not move the leg, move the ankle, all right? Touch heel and toe. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. One more time. Don't move the leg, move the ankle. Heel and toe. Back to center. One more ankle exercise. Second ankle exercise. Weight shifts right, left foot, touch little toe, and then big toe. Outside and inside. Try and keep all the weight right. Little toe, big toe, outside and inside. Then shift your weight to the left, right foot, same. Little toe and big toe. Outside, inside, little toe, big toe, outside and inside. And then we come back to center. Beautiful. So I want you to remember 3 exercises. Practice 3 exercises at home. Practice deep breathing every day. One of the best things you can do is learn how to breathe. I have books. I have like 6, 10 books on just on breathing. All right. So breathing is so very important. So practice deep breathing every day, no matter how you practice it. I mean, there's the different arm movements that helps the lymphatic system if you do that, but just deep breathe every day. Long, slow, deep belly breaths. Heel kick is the other exercise. I want you to practice that again. If you can do it every day, but even once between now and when I see you next Friday, it's better, right? And then everybody in here should be doing that ankle exercise. And it's such a simple exercise, but touching the heel and the toe. All right. I'd like to see a lot more flexibility out of your ankles. All right. And this is where Parkinson's shows up first. Usually it's in the wrist and the ankles. So you want to keep those ankles flexible. All right. So work on that exercise because that is strengthening your ankle and it's also giving you better flexibility. Okay. All right. So we're going to do something just a little different. So while you're standing there, stand in the Wuji position for me. You can stay seated. That's fine. Um, so I want you to hold on to your chairs because I want everyone to be safe. All right. But try and lean forward a little bit, like you're actually leaning forward at the waist. And what happens with your feet? What do you feel on your feet when you lean forward? On the ball of the foot. All your weight goes to your toe, to the ball of your foot. All right. So we're going to lean backwards. Again, you're holding onto your chair, so stay safe. But now you start leaning backwards. And what do you feel on your feet? Yep, exactly. Weight's going back on your heel. All right. So now try leaning forward once again. So you lean forward and you feel that weight go to your toe. But if you listen to your body closely, not only do you feel the pressure in your toe, but your thighs start to tighten up and your belly starts to tighten up as you're leaning forward. Likewise, if you lean back and you're on the heels, as you start to lean back on the heels, your glutes tighten up and the lower back starts to tighten up. Okay? That's everybody's a little different, but that's the usual response. So relax, shake your legs loose. So the point being is, um, when what's the best way to state this? So your feet are giving you all kinds of good information, but we've learned to ignore what our feet are saying to us. So when we're leaning forward, we're going to feel pressure on our toes. If we lean backwards, we're going to feel pressure, more pressure on our heel. And so when we're standing in the Wuji position, we're trying to find that balance between the weight on the heel and the weight on the toe. So the weight, you want the weight right behind the ball of the foot. That's where you want your weight. And if you feel your weight coming to your toe, it's a good indication that you're leaning forward. If you feel the weight on your heel, that's a good indication that you're leaning backwards. All right. So learn to listen to your feet. I often make the analogy, I have 2 daughters. They don't always listen to dad. I'm sure I'm the only one that ever happens to, right? But they don't always listen to dad. Um, but things go better when they do listen to dad, right? So things are going to go better when you learn to listen to your feet. This is number one, it's the longest neural pathway in the body. And you think of Parkinson's, it's a neuromuscular disease, right? So exercise those neural pathways, okay? But listen to your feet. Your feet will give you loads of information. And if you're buying shoes with a really puffy sole on them, like a really soft sole, you're probably not helping your balance. If you have a flatter sole on your foot where you can kind of feel the floor, that usually is better. And if you don't believe me, try and stand on your sofa cushion and see how that goes, because it ain't going to go well. Um, in fact, in physical therapy, I think they have some of the mats here. They have like a 3-inch thick foam mat, and they have you stand on that because then you can no longer feel your feet, and you have to go by visual cues or different ways to balance the body. So stay off those shoes with the real puffy soles, or stay out of heels or everything. I know you're wearing the heels all the time. So yeah. Um, so, but anyway, so I hope that helps. Okay. All right. So let's do one more exercise and we'll sit down and do meditation, but let's do another balance exercise. All right. So we're going to start by shifting all of our weight to the right and get all of the weight to the right. Use your chair. With the left foot, I'm going to touch the heel in front of me and then touch the toe behind me, but I'm not going to put any weight on the foot. All right. All my weight's going to stay on the right hand side. So when we step back, make sure you have plenty of space between the feet. Also, when you look at it from the side, my body is staying straight. So I'm not touching the heel and touching the toe, but I'm keeping the body straight as I touch heel and toe. But there's no weight on my left foot when I'm doing that. Okay. The other thing to do as we transition between heel and toe, don't just swing the leg back and forth, but what I'd like you to do is to lift the knee and touch the toe, lift the knee and touch the heel. It's going to challenge your balance more. So hang on to that chair, but it's going to teach you to lift your knees when you walk, which is really important for our safety. All right, got all that? 25 things simultaneously. Easy peasy, right? All right, somebody said right. Weight shifts to the right, all the weights on the right, empty left heel, holding on to that chair. Stay safe. And then we lift the knee, empty left toe, using that chair if you need to. Using the chair if you need to. Don't be stubborn. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And lifting the knee, empty on the toe. You all right? Okay. Make sure you're standing up nice and straight and tall. Make sure you're not leaning, all right? Oh no, you're doing good. You're doing good. I just want to make sure you're safe. Okay. All right. Weight shifts to the right, empty left heel, and then lifting the knee, empty left toe. Make sure you're stepping wide when you step back. And come back to center. Shifting weight to the left. All the weights left. Empty right heel. Hands behind us or using the chair. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Make sure you're stepping wide when you step. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then we lift the knee, empty on the toe. Make sure you're stepping wide. Make sure you don't step narrow. One more time, lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Make sure you're stepping wide. And come back to center. Beautiful. So one more quick word, then we'll sit. Oh, if you want to sit down, go ahead. So when you step backwards, don't step straight back. You want to step out, step wide. All right. You want that in your muscle memory. Okay. There you go. Make sure that you're stepping wide. And when I point out that you're not stepping wide, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to let you know. All right. Because if I don't tell you, how would you know? Right. So if I'm being mean, you can attest, you'll know it. Right. Yeah. See, you know when I'm being mean, right? There you, oh, good answer. Uh, so again, I'm not trying to be mean, but if I don't tell you, how would you know? Okay. So when you're stepping back, make sure you step wide, put that in your muscle memory. Okay. All right. Questions? All right. So let's have a seat. We're going to do some meditation. All right. If you haven't done meditation before, um, this is a unique thing, okay? Um, it was very interesting. Last Friday, I teach a class after this over at the Jewish Community Center. And there was a young lady who takes that class who has Parkinson's disease. Uh, and it just so happened the people I had in that class, I did the breathing exercises, same breathing exercises I do here. And then I do the warm up exercises, pretty much the same that I do here. Hip and knee are a little different. Um, but everybody there knew the warm up exercises really well. They knew physically what to do. So instead of showing them what to do, I focused on the breathing for the warm up exercises. And if you get really good at doing the exercises, you can focus more on the breathing than the physical exercises. Now, this takes like, 3, 6, 12 months. It doesn't matter how long it takes. But it just so happened I had a class in there. They knew the physical, so I taught them the breathing. So we did deep breathing, and then we did all 12 of those exercises again with deep breathing and doing the movements. Then we took a break so everybody could use the restroom and everything, and we were coming back to do more. During break, this young lady, her name is Fancha. Fancha walked up and she goes, I came in this class and I had tremors. I don't have tremors anymore. So it can make a really, really big difference. In teaching you to meditate can help you control those tremors. Okay, it's calming that body down, which is why I talk about going slow. It helps to calm the body down. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. So sitting up nice and straight and tall. Use the back of your chair if you need to. I want everyone to be comfortable. So big, deep belly breath in, closing the eyes. Exhale, clearing the mind of any thoughts, what they call cleansing the mind. Once again, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out, clearing the mind of any thoughts. We're going to start with our feet. Taking a big, deep belly breath in, filling those lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through our feet, relaxing our feet. Inhale, filling our lungs with air once again. Exhale, breathing out through our feet, relaxing our feet. Onto our legs. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your legs. Relaxing the upper leg, relaxing the knee, relaxing the lower leg. Again, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the legs, relaxing our legs onto our hips. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're breathing out through the hips, relaxing the hips, relaxing our bottom. Once again, long, slow, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through our hips, relaxing our hips. Stay focused on your breathing. Onto the belly. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're exhaling through your navel. You're relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, Breathing out through the belly, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Onto the inner stomach. So taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're breathing out through that inner stomach. That feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when things aren't going right, that's the area we're aiming for. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through that inner stomach. This is where we hold a lot of our anxiety, a lot of our anger. So we're letting that go, releasing that, not holding on to it, not doing you any good. Again, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the inner stomach, relaxing the inner stomach onto the lower back. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, breathing out through the lower back, relaxing our lower back. Inhale, filling our lungs with air once again. Exhale, breathing out through the lower back, relaxing our lower back. And let's finish up by breathing out through the whole body. So take a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through the whole body, relaxing the whole body. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, imagine you're breathing out through your skin, relaxing that whole body. And we'll have to stop there for today. But look at how relaxed you guys are. Kind of nice to feel that relaxed, isn't it? My mother's neurologist once said, having Parkinson's means you're tired and wired at the same time. It was like, that was really, from what I was seeing with my mom, and I talked with my mom about it, that was a pretty good description of it. So meditation can kind of take away that wired feeling. It can also help you relax, maybe getting a better night's sleep, okay? All right, any question? All right, so I'm going to turn on the lights. So it's going to get bright in here. But you guys have an awesome week. Lights, I warned you. You guys have an awesome week, and we'll see everybody next week, all right? Right hand fist, left hand, fingers together, tucking in the thumb. Nice job. Good job. Good job. All right. Have a great week.